The green light is on, ladies and gentlemen. We are recording right now. Welcome back to your favorite 420 podcast. This is your main host, Chino, and today's special guest today, is pretty excited guest. He also has his own cannabis related podcast. It's called Let's Match. So Tony, welcome to the show, my guy. Thank you
What's
for
up, Chino?
coming. Um, just to let you know, man, I am pretty high. So sorry if I keep talking too much, man, but I am a little stoned, little bit, you know.
No, that's the vibe though. That's the
Um,
vibe.
yeah, like I said, man, I just smoke flower outside. Just 'cause I can't inside, which like I've been like dying every single time I smoke outside. Man, I wish I could just smoke, watch, and still watch TV. Sometimes I gotta pull out the phone, and it ain't the same, but you know.
No, I feel it. No, I've been in certain situations. Wow, man, listen, I've been smoking all day too, man. Bear with me. I've been in certain smoking situations too, where and it was mainly, like my parents. I'm not trying to smell like weed when I was living under their house and under their rules.
Mhm.
So, uh, I love bike rides. You feel me? That's how I got around town. Let the wind take everything away. You know what I'm saying? Go home and tell mom that, I was on the fries today and the oil came up. That's why my eyes is red type stuff. True story. But no, I love, yeah. That's what I do is smoke.
So you know what? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your pod, my guy. I know you're not in the same state as us, so you out there in Kentucky, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, Kentucky, man, the land of the forbidden still. We don't go legal till January 1st. And for what I'm hearing from some people that's really deep involved with the legislation, we won't even see no sales probably take place January 1st. So but Kentucky's in shit forward. Outside of that, I got a podcast called Let's Match, Let's Talk About It. It's on Spotify, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. And that all kind of just happened. It really did. It just happened out of wanting to change the narrative, honestly. You know, tired of excuse my stuffy nose, but aside from the news always being so depressing, you don't want to work 40 hours a week, go home, turn on and see that somebody else died, somebody else's apartment burnt up, somebody else got a disease that can't be controlled. It just all becomes so depressing. No matter what you watch, the narrative is that there's no hope at the end. And I wanted to change that. And like I said, the whole podcast thing just kind of happened. I'm still putting all that together. So therefore, me liking weed more than I like drinking, I would definitely say I'm not much of a drinker. I'll drink a beer, and if I go
Hmm.
out with my wife, I'll have like some gin, but I'm about a blunt. So, uh, the idea behind the podcast is that we could talk about anything. The what would you call it? Peer pressure of it is that I really expect the guests to smoke with me.
Hmm.
Unless you're in some sort of like official office job that like if it's government pertaining, like I understand it's going to affect you financially. I'm not asking of that from nobody. So I have had guests that don't smoke. I've had guests that don't have those type that don't meet those qualifications that also chose not to smoke. So like I said, if there's any peer pressure to it, it is that I expect you to smoke with me. It's in the name. Um, but sort of like taking two blunts and toking them together like let's match, just a match, it's like that idea. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, like we about to hit cruise and just talk about everything, about life, about what's going on
Yeah.
with each other's, life, on like what my end is got is different than what your end is doing, like. So I most definitely feel that, and that's kind of how Canna vibe is as well. Majority for me, though, is like this was during pandemic time. I stopped smoking with my friends. I stopped, being as much socialized, because of everything that's been going on. So I decided, why not just do a pod where we all just, smoke and just really what's to talk about what's happening on topics that not everyone is gets to know because not everything hits the surface. Um, and it could even be on some personal shit because like I'm like I'm no I don't want to say I'm guessing, but it's like I know someone out there whoever listens to a segment and it hits them on some personal level shit, it probably would will help them on some advice or something like that, man. I really just let the the sesh do its thing. Like right now, like you getting on them blinkers in. I see you, man. Like I
Man,
said, but but yeah, man. Right. I usually smoke wax like with my Puffco, or my glass rig, but at the moment I am really out of service. I am out of out the jars. I only got is the
oh, it's a
Benjamin,
420
man.
emergency.
Yeah, and I'm
It's
just
a
waiting,
420
man. I'm
emergency.
just
I'm smoking, man. It's a Muha Med fucking sugar daddy. So just, like, when you told me you was vaping, I was like, shit, like in the spirit of let's match, we gonna match vape for vape. You feel me? Like,
bro, you were more welcome to smoke on the blunt, on the wax. I'll just tell you, hit one for the homie Chino.
I feel it. No, I feel it, man. For real. I like what you're doing with your podcast. For real, the whole thing together with the Sad Boys and just the whole just I listen to it all, man. I really do. You know what I'm saying? You was able to sit down with some people that's already been in some events, already been through like even some legal battles, and kind of understanding, especially in a legal market sense, right? So I get to kind of hear for myself through your podcast what the recreational side is really like for some people that is just getting it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Not no fancy corporations all the time, but then cannabis gets sticky when it gets into that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it does, and we still have that stereotypical and that stereotype, especially like how you mentioned, like it's just like the word cannabis to some people, it just kind of is it's like they be high here, but the next thing you know they be down low, and it's like serious, and it's like, whoa, nah, like it ain't like that, man.
Well, look what's
Like
happening to everybody that has an Instagram that's really flexing cannabis, bro. This shit's like a sinkhole every other weekend. Somebody's property going gone, bro. I don't know, as far as what you've done on your Instagram profile, but I've invested. I'm creeping towards $200 worth of ads.
how's that going for you?
So it's gone really. It was going good to the point now in the last 48 hours it's done me wrong. Is how I feel. What Meta does is Meta waits 2 weeks before it takes the money out of your account.
Hmm.
So that's through Facebook, all Meta, like Facebook, Instagram. So if you run like a $50 ad, and then I don't know if people are report. I really don't know how it happens because there's only I'm trying to figure out how I'm trying to word it. So this is what should happen. Let me start this way. What should happen when you run an ad is that it'll tell you that it's going through pending approval. And then if you don't, if if you don't meet the pending approval, it'll even like zoom into the picture sometimes. I have had it before zoom into my exblunts on a pair of shorts and said this goes against our community guidelines that I was advertising smoking.
Hmm.
So I was like, dang, that's really weird because that X blunt was on the front and the back of the shirt. I've also had it tell me that pending approval was not that I went against the guidelines again because of my Stewart Passions logo, and that was also weird again because same thing. It only caught but that one it only caught one leaf out the whole logo. So outside of that, it don't take no money from you. Then you just don't get the ad.
Hmm.
What it's done recently is I was doing a 2 day ad. We were into the second day
Hmm.
and I got a notification that my ad had been flagged as going against the guideline. Basically, something that I should have gotten in the beginning, I got almost at the end of the campaign. Uh, and so it I got like 10 followers. If you want to look at it that way, so you spend $25. You
A
got
day.
yeah, no, 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 no. You
Oh.
can do like $12 a day if you want with Instagram. You ain't like you can really budget Instagram for real. You'll still get like 2, 3 thousand impressions a day.
Hmm.
Uh, and then it really is about the niche at that point. It is luck of the draw. It's not, I wouldn't say that Instagram is suppressing anybody after that. Like It's either you got a good product or you don't got a good product. You know what I'm saying? Because I've had things. So in the last year, what I did was I did run three ads at once, $75, $25 an ad, and I ran them for one day, and then I was gonna drop. I don't remember, probably like $200 on whichever one took off the hardest. You know what I'm saying? Whichever one was getting the most shares or whatever it was. It's like that's the bet. That's an approach somebody, I can't remember who, but somebody gave me that idea as an approach. Instead of dumping $500 into one ad,
Hmm.
spend $10 on two ads, $5 an ad, and then see which one is jumping, and then do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you it's the worst thing. I couldn't say it's super pay. I've never like spent $50 and then woke up with like 2,000 new followers. That don't happen. Uh, back in the day, way back like 2013, there was a time where you could buy 20,000 followers on Twitter and stuff like that,
Hmm.
but that didn't pay off for nobody. It jacked the algorithm up.
Yeah, and I feel like but here's the thing, man. I don't run ads for my pod, man. So here's the thing. Man, it's funny because you mentioned the clothing brand Sad Boys, which I don't have anymore. Like I kind of stopped with that brand, and I'm sure everyone by now knows. Um, but like going back to like that is like I would used to buy ads for the clothing brand and stuff like that, and I would see, like, 10 followers, 5 followers, a good amount of likes, views, whatever. But like I felt like at the end it wasn't worth it, like I felt like at the end you're kind of more just wasting your money than actually picking up that audience. But again, like how you said, it depending on the product itself, like if it's worth it or not, or like if it catches the people's attention. Um, but with cannabis, I feel like you gotta like be kind of like I don't even want to say slick or anything, but like I guess be careful with the words, because like for my bio on my Instagram, I used to have my saying, which is knowledge, culture, cannabis, but for my Instagram, I had to change cannabis to flower, and that kind of took off a restriction from like people not seeing my stuff that don't follow me, like on reels and shit like that. So I feel like that you gotta just play around with your words when it comes to this type of stuff. And with the hashtags, I used to do the hashtags, but I kind of stopped because I was talking to another person that does cannabis content, and he kind of was telling me that he stopped using the hashtags because I think that's what Instagram was catching on to with hashtagging.
Right.
So I'm not sure, man. I feel like it's very iffy marketing yourself if you're in this industry.
So, kind of getting on the topic of Stewart's passion, kind of as like a business owner, right? I have to figure out for myself every day what's going to work for my company. And knowing that Instagram and Facebook are tied together, I'm still right now trying to find a formula that's going to allow me to do what I'm trying to do without getting accounts removed, right?
Hmm.
So I want to say a blog was the first thing I ever ran an ad on. And the only thing I was trying to do was I want to say it was the Purple and Oil blog I wrote. I wasn't trying to get banned, but I was trying to get in trouble with it. And so I needed a lot of people because I was trying to figure out what happens when you get in trouble. This was like right when I created an account and I didn't have pretty much anything to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I immediately was like, how does one get their account taken off? So I wanted a lot of eyes to see, or at least for it to come across a lot of like, even if a Karen had a phone and was just having a bad day and wanted to cancel cannabis, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get that to happen. And then I ended up getting like I think it's still one of the most read sites or most read blogs on my site to this day, just like from the number of like real clicks versus impressions. So um and so I'm teaching myself all that. You get what I'm saying? Uh, I geek at the numbers too. So the numbers matter to me because they're the only reflection that I can show myself of what's going on with my company.
Hmm.
Um, I do the same thing with Chat GPT, except Chat GPT is free. Fingers crossed, while it is, you know what I'm saying? So I can actually go and ask Chat GPT about my company and give it my, and you have to, because I'm not like Walmart and stuff like that. I have to say like Stewart's Passion, Kentucky, cannabis blogs. And if I ask it about that company, it's only changed its like statement like twice. But it basically gives me an idea of how the internet sees my company, right? Because that's where I'm paying for the site to be held is on the internet. So that, you know what I'm saying? I use it for a lot of like self-evaluation more than I am trying to get ahead. Because I don't I agree with you. It's not really a good way to get ahead. I learned that too, like years ago. You know what I'm saying? There was
Mhm.
a moment where I thought maybe, and I did that with Twitter, and I just now this year been able to get a Twitter profile that I can run ads if I so choose, which I highly go against ever running ads on Twitter if you're doing cannabis ever.
Why though? Like that it's just a bad like way to market yourself through Twitter or
So they're unforgiving. That's one, unlike Instagram, right? Instagram has told me probably in the last 3 years, since, well, 2 years, they've probably told me maybe 4 times. I don't even think it's been 5 times that I've came close to like a community guideline issue or anything like that. Where they said that they were, I've had probably 10 posts that I've woken up and they said they don't show me the post, but they're like, we removed A, B, and C post. I've had
Mhm.
that happen more than anything else. Um, Twitter, like I said, I
uh,
still can't run ads to this day on
mhm.
that profile. On my main Stewart's Passion, I can't do nothing with it, bro. I mean, Twitter is unforgiving. So
So how long has it been then since you posted that? I guess that first ad and then
so here's
was it was this before Elon took over?
no, this was while he no, this was last year.
Oh
So
shit.
so I have affiliates for Stewart's Passion in different states.
Hmm.
They're well ambassadors, and I was it was the first run of promoting an ambassador. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I
So like
promoted
what
their I
so what
promoted their YouTube video.
okay.
Well, this particular case, that ambassador's account got taken down by Twitter, and subs for that video particularly, and subsequently, my ad also got flagged by the system. Like that video itself, it was the video, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And so it was like you ran, and instead of like canceling the ad and just telling me like, hey, instead of just taking my money and telling me I fucked up, I can't do that again or whatever, and like making me wait like 100 days. I don't know anything. It was just like you ran an ad that violated the community guidelines. Your privileges have been restricted. That was it. So it was like, fuck.
They still took your money?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah. It took a whole 50. It was a 50 day, it
Damn.
was a 2 day, $25 ad, bro.
Damn. I'll be hella pissed.
And that was gonna be that one, that ad was more than what got me my blogs. So I was really hyped for that because like I don't even remember what I probably spent like a one time 25. It might have been also a $50 ad, but it might have been like a 1 day ad or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But that
Hmm.
ended up with like 13,000 like clicks. So I was like, that was deep. I like that. That was all in like 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying too. It kind of messes you up too when you do that because you want to be able to showcase your work to somebody when you get serious. Like this is what I'm able to do. And
Hmm.
if the only time that you're building traffic is when you're paying for it, then that's kind of like calling the strip club marriage. You feel me? Like it's like yeah, because you paid for it. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got the attention. Like so, like that's why I say it's kind of a double-edged sword. But I have my reasons for why I do it. That you know what I'm saying, to where
Hmm.
I don't feel like I'll be doing it much longer. But if I have to spend the next 3 or 4 years learning, especially if the algorithm keeps changing, you know what I'm saying, and AI becomes more integrated with everything, I'm just trying to learn it. That way, when I can apply the stuff I learn, I know that I'm doing it in a way that should work out for me better than just like freeballing it.
Yeah. That is true. And I feel like within, I think just in general, I think this is whole as well learning journey for one itself, man. Um, you take a lot of L's, but at the same time, you take a lot of dubs. And I feel like you gotta always appreciate the small dubs too within this journey, man. Like, but I most definitely feel you, man. Like, you feel like you've been going, you've been trying to figure out how what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and I think that it's different for everybody. And I feel like there's no right or wrong answer. I feel like it's more like one could probably take the advice if they wanted to, but again, I feel like there's no right or wrong. It's more like you gotta know the algorithm, which is a bitch sometimes, but like I don't know. For me, I think it's just I just kind of have like a schedule for when I want to post content and stuff like that. Lately I've been slacking off, but like I usually do is like I drop the episode and then like if I give it a day or two and then I drop clips within the week and that's what I've been kind of seeing. Some of these views have been decent, some haven't been decent. Um, but like at the end of the day, I feel like the more content you drop, the more I'm sure people are just gonna start seeing your stuff as they're scrolling down.
Well, some of the stuff I do when I do the blogs or even so basically what Stewart's Passion does is we'll take the blog, turn it into a podcast, take the podcast and then turn it into short term or short form content. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So, with that being said, or I should say, with most of our audience being either content creators themselves or entrepreneurs of some, and I know two different things, but same goal.
Hmm.
The very thing that we were talking about as far as the algorithm and figuring it out is kind of the whole purpose of it because that is like the biggest problem for cannabis, period. Whether you like cannabis or use cannabis to get an income, even if that's through content,
Hmm.
it's under attack digitally. And so understanding how person A got out of the foxhole will help the rest of them get out. You know what I'm saying? Or at least understanding how person A got in that situation can it's all about trying to learn from other people's mistakes, but as we're seeing too, a lot of times we don't even know what the mistakes are, you know? So just imagine like 6 years down the road, if you do Canna vibes every, like exactly how you're doing, and you get better at it, which is only natural because we're humans and it becomes routine, and you do it every single day, bro. And you're at episode 3,000, and you've got like, by then you probably got at least one serious investor, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that, and it doesn't have to be financially, that could be somebody that seriously invested in the operation, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You wake up and Spotify's just like, we're under new ownership. We got new guidelines. Your show has been deleted. Bro, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just hasn't happened to us yet. You know what I'm saying? Because we're podcasting. We're kind of in this smudge area where we can kind of talk about what we want, but if we link with too many of them, then they start treating, you get the same treatment. You know what I'm saying? So, you don't, when I say link, I'm talking about when you do too much of the same type of moves that can be perceived as a cannabis operation or tied to a cannabis organization, you can kind of get hit. We're like the drummer boys for them. You know what I'm saying? Podcasters are. We're like the drummer boys for them. They trying to get their business out there. They throwing $400,000 or $500,000 out there for a chance at a dispensary. Some of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that all can just be an inspiration off of listening to your episode. You know, you could trigger that. You know, I could trigger anybody doing a podcast can trigger that kind of motivation in somebody. So that you gotta put the truth out there. Or so I'm talking about me. You know, I gotta put the truth out there, like in a way that I know I can look back and go, I gave it the best way I know how. You know what I'm saying? So I don't try to like put a narrative or spin a certain type of like image towards it. I think you said it the best. You know, kind of just have a conversation and see where it goes when you come on when we do it like that.
Yeah, man. And from everyone that has came on the show, um, it's just like my friends to, somebody who's actually having their own business, their own cannabis business to it's not even even in the industry itself, like I just love to bring people who have the same, I guess, interest, which is again cannabis, but like it don't got to be the whole thing about cannabis. Like I want this to again for as many times as I say this is like when somebody just doesn't know what they want to do when they smoking when they're high or they smoking, they just can pull up this an episode of this podcast and we'll like make I feel like we make them their imagery, like off the shits, man, by what we talking because like I feel like there's no need to have a filter here. Like you can literally just talk about what you think, about what your thoughts are. Like I'm not gonna be here, just arguing with you or debating with you. No, it's more like a conversation, like let me hear you out, but like you gotta also hear me out here, man. And at the end it's like it's just a whole vibe, bro. Like I see it every time everyone comes here, everyone fucks with it, everyone come at the end of the day. Like I just built a whole good relationship with everybody, and that's what I'm hoping for, because in this industry, I feel like it's a lot of networking, a lot of, you gotta work with everybody here. You can't just think you know everything about this plant, because I feel like even the experts here are still learning something, with all these different cannabinoids, terpenes, effects, medical benefits, even just the recreational effects of it too.
Yeah, as we see that kind of the results of being restricted from studying it,
Yeah,
a lot of the breakthroughs are going to happen in our, hopefully a lot of them will happen in our, or maybe not, you know what I'm saying, but a lot of them are for us anyway. I can't say it without saying a lot of breakthroughs are going to happen in our lifetime, not to say that there won't be even more breakthroughs hundreds of years from now, you know what I'm saying, but it really is only up from here.
it's just a new generational industry, man. Like I feel like our kids are gonna end up, having a place where how we would have thought, can be where cannabis can be, literally on Walmart or Target or at the gas station, but like legitimately, like not no
Yeah.
no not no like fake shit or anything like that. Uh, but like I feel like it's I think our job is more like to make it a little more normalized or try to push towards that, like a little peer pressure but not too peer pressure, because I feel like the more you are open and telling everybody in the circle like, oh yeah, I consume cannabis, I feel like the more people are gonna be open, like they'll
So,
open
so,
up to you.
okay, then to summarize why you do Canna Vibes or like what the business is, then is to normalize it.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I feel like for us, it's more like educating, getting knowledge from everybody that comes on this pod. Like although I might hear the same thing from a lot of people, but it might be in a different saying in their own words, and sometimes it's like I'm a little more understanding than what probably someone that said, or it's just everything comes together from just different types of people, man. And I think that's what makes it a community, and that's what makes a community, like although here in Illinois, although it's still new and all, like our community, I feel like it's not as strong as, for example, Michigan. And I can only relate to Michigan because I've gone to Michigan, like I've stepped in a dispensary. I've actually made, like friends who are in the industry in Michigan, like so it's like although I would love to go to another state that weed is legal, but I haven't yet. I haven't had a chance. But like I feel like I'm a lot is waiting.
Illinois is dope. We went to Bloomington.
See, it's okay, man. I just what do you like about Illinois?
The
Illinois.
people. I was talking. I mean, the people. Like
Oh, the
you was talking about the
people.
connections. Yeah, like they're like as soon
Um,
as we got there, man, like everybody was. I'm not gonna say talkative because it wasn't like they were like weird, like goofy people. You know what I'm saying? Like talky
mhm,
talky. But I mean, like the conversation was natural. Like it was just like, dang, we all came for the same reason. Obviously, it was the grand opening of the cookies there,
mhm.
and we had already. I had been to Illinois before, and like went to go see we went to Ascend. That was the closest it wasn't the closest, but it was the one we had chose. So we went to Ascend. So like even when we went up there the first time, like and we went out to eat and we had to go to Walmart to get like shit for the
Mm.
hotel. Like the people was just cool. Like everybody, it was just a vibe. It just felt like I felt welcomed, is all. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we went back. Cause trust me, the prices weren't nice.
Yeah,
But
the price. That's the thing. The prices. I just hate the prices, man. It's just like sometimes like you don't. I feel like people sometimes don't be getting that the quality that they're expecting because of the price. You feel me? Um, but then again, we got so much people that, are connoisseurs that are just new to cannabis that might consider them to be like the top notch when, for example, like maybe for us, some strains may not, some strains maybe, but
I got a receipt. I got a couple receipts behind me. Bro, I got like for 5/8 and a bottle of lean,
hmm
a bottle of Canna syrup. I think I was at my max limit for concentrates, and I was at my max limit for flour. And then I
gotcha.
probably got something in between there. I spent $585.
In Illinois,
Yeah,
damn, for 5/8 and
it's
how
something like
many,
that. Man,
damn,
hold on.
you get how many grams of wax did you get?
Where is this at? This is I'm just gonna say the city. This was in Fairview Heights.
Okay, you in the suburbs, so
Okay, so well, this is the send. This is the send actually.
okay.
All right. Okay, we got it. Edible capsules, 100 milligrams THC. Edible capsules for relief. I think those were CBG.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got the syrup. So that was $28 for the syrup. It was concentrate 1 gram of face melt for 60. Flour for 3.5 Afghan, which I did enjoy that, was 65.
Mm-hmm.
Uh Jenny Kush 3.5 was 65.
Damn.
Cake Breath was 3.5, 65. And the whatever this is right here, Slim 1 gram. I think that was a
That's a
pre-roll.
pre-roll. Yeah, that's a pre-roll.
Okay, 65 for the pre-roll. All right. And then
Wait, that was a 1 gram pre-roll for 65?
yeah,
That's taxes.
subtotal is 410. Hold on. Illinois recreational tax THC for anything over 35%. I paid $31.25. Infusion tax. Y'all have an infusion tax. I paid 17.80. The recreational tax for THC over 35% on something else was $19. And then there's a local adult use tax that was $58.95.
Damn, that's crazy,
Okay.
bro. They,
My total was $535 after taxes, bro. They
bro, they
added
just
they added $125 in taxes. I didn't even realize I paid an adult use tax, bro, a
they
$58 adult use tax.
they you pay
I got
taxes
the
just
receipts.
you pay taxes just so they can allow you to smoke, boy.
That's crazy, bro.
Damn.
Bro.
That's crazy, bro. That shit is
So that's why
making
we
me,
make a right instead of a left now when we leave, bro. We go to Michigan. I ain't even lying, bro.
bro. I'd rather save up and
Ah,
just take the 2 hour drive to go to
damn, that
Michigan, man.
hurts looking at that, bro. Don't say it like that either. It was a very good 1 gram roll, bro. It was a real awesome 1 gram.
I I don't know, man. That's
Yeah,
why I always tell everybody, it worth the price? Although it
bro.
might sound fire and it's not worth it, bro. Cause
Man, if
all
the
you
police is like anything like the taxes, they kicking your ankles apart before they pat you down. They doing it rough. I'll tell you. That's $58 on an adult use tax. $58 on an adult use tax. God dang. I didn't even
that's
realize that. That's because I was buttered when I went there. Believe that. But but I came more ready for cookies, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So that was like that virgin shopper. Like never honestly, that was that first time, like fuck it, like run me up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted as much as I could get.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you.
585, bro.
Uh,
585.
you
And then
came
I went to
you
cookies and I spent like under 300. I was really proud of myself.
under
And
300?
plus I was one of the first 25 people in the store when it opened.
Yeah,
Well,
I did
they
hear
had
that
something for
pod
like the
though.
first, huh?
I said I did hear your pod with the manager. Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
he
so
ended
like
up
they gave us so much
hooking you
shit
up.
that
Yeah.
like I literally had to give weed back to keep what they like yeah, like I had because I'm out of state.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah, yeah, that's your
like yeah, so I had to stay within limit. And so I was like, damn. But I
that's
mean it was it was
crazy.
it was a win-win, bro, because you walk away with a free half ounce, however you want to look at it.
Uh, it's just the pockets hurting, man. That's that's the only re thing. But here's my thing then. Just cause you're an out of state guy. So then they couldn't just like cut you like ring you up and then just put you on another
So
transaction.
Illinois has not done that with me. Nah. Illinois
See,
has not done that with me.
with Michigan, if I go over my
That's
limit
a
or whatever,
different
you
game. That's
see,
a
yeah,
different game. Yeah,
they
Michigan, where the fuck is that? Hey,
Michigan be like,
I ain't trying to,
let
yeah, I ain't
me,
trying to fuck it up for nobody. That's why I'm like, ah, shit, you just gotta go and figure it out, bro. Because I'm
yeah.
telling you, it's so much love in Michigan. God dang it.
Michigan, I got a special place in Canna heart, man. It's
Man,
just
hey, you ain't lying, man. I ain't even look. Look, I love him so much. I won't even shout out the dispensary. I'm dead ass because I'm like,
uh,
man, look, I low key be looking at the news sometimes. Like, don't let me see that one be in the news, bro. Because I know they trapping their ass out. I know they get. Look, let me just say like this. Here's a good
mhm.
one. How many states have you been in now for just dispensaries?
And I just been to Michigan, but for city wise, I've been to Detroit, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, and New
Okay,
Buffalo.
you've been to a lot of them. So let me ask you this then,
Mhm.
before I make that assertion. Then, so have you went over the limit at a lot of them, or is it
Yeah,
hard to find?
no,
Okay, then no, it's not hard to find.
it's no, it's every time I go and I just pass my limit. It's not like I want to, or it's not like
I was
that.
gonna
It's
say
just
if the
like it just
dispensary has
naturally
really
happens.
big ass bags,
Uh-huh.
and because like they have their regular little here goes like your bag, and then they fold it over and staple it, and
Hmm.
they give it to you like the little grocery bag. But then they got a really big ass bag that like and I
Last
only
time I
know. Go ahead.
uh-huh. Last time I came out with two bags, and that was the day before 420.
Well, we went. I ain't trying to. So obviously, me and my wife went together, and
Uh-huh.
so we had exceeded our stuff together.
Gotcha.
And so they were like, "Oh, you don't have to carry all that like that here." And they pulled out this really big bag that we could put everything in, just one bag to carry it all, just all in one bag. And then I was kind of moping that I had went past my limit, and then they were like, "If you just get in line, we could just throw it in that bag." And I was just like, got right back in the back of line, like I didn't even have to leave the shop type shit.
Ah, damn, they made you go back in line?
Yeah.
Ah,
Well,
nah.
there was like three other people behind me type shit. There was a real line, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So like I
okay.
had walked out of line and started browsing again. I was like, damn, I didn't see that. I would have got that. You know what I'm saying? And then they were like,
Yeah.
just get back in line. And I was like, word. And so I was like, cool. And it was the everywhere else I had went.
Mhm.
Because it's no secret, the cat's out the bag. They definitely don't have like one system reading everything. You can definitely go to like this section, shop here, go here to the next section, and like step up here. Like even if you want to be super careful and not like get back in line, you could just go to another store and exceed your level because it doesn't seem like they're not tracking it. I don't think they're tracking it.
Oh no, hell no, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like every store just has their own little system that they work with. I feel that's how it goes. I'm not
Which
sure
I'm
if
just
that's
calling out on just for all the first off, you got so legal with it, you got me paying an adult use tax. Okay, you get what I'm saying? They get so critical about certain shit, and then they're like, you didn't think that we was gonna figure out whether or not the systems were linked. That would have been one of the, you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. I'm just saying it's weird that they're not linked.
I'm not I don't know. I feel like with that. We're still talking about Michigan though, right? Just to get
I
this
mean,
clear.
we're talking, yeah, yeah, 100% about Michigan, but I haven't tested Illinois. I don't know why. I feel like Illinois, because Illinois be on on steroids with the police. So
Mhm. See, how's your drive? Well, how long of a drive is from Illinois to Kentucky, and how's your drive? And then compare it to your drive from to
I think it's
Michigan.
like 4 or 5 hours either way.
Either way.
Yeah.
And how's the drive? How's the cops in between states?
So
Uh, Let's go
Michigan got a
hypothetically.
lot
Not
more
before.
going on in the streets than because coming through from Louisville into Illinois, it's a lot of
Hmm.
farmland, bro. You're just going through that farmland, and then as soon as you hit the city, you hit the dispensary, so you don't even have to go into Illinois. Honestly, Fairview's at the tip,
Yeah, but
so I don't have to deal with they got a commercial out right now where the I don't know, you know what? I told you I'm stoned. I take back what I said. I ain't never had an issue with the Illinois cop. Ohio, my bad. Ohio is where I got, man, forgive me. Ohio got a commercial out right now where the sheriffs is leaning up against their car, damn near daring you to come from Kentucky and try to shop.
really.
Yeah, they're like, it's legal here, not there. You will be charged. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
Oh.
Ohio has, my bad. Yeah, shit. Boy,
Wait, what?
yeah, it's Ohio. My bad. Illinois, I haven't. It's been smooth, but I've never tried. I haven't tried Illinois. Illinois is what I think of when I think of the fucking armed going to send. Them motherfuckers is armed up front. The guard is.
Oh, they're always arming here in Illinois, man. They don't
I'm
play
like,
here.
oh yeah. So like,
Ain't
man, look,
nobody
let
play
me
here.
look. I don't know if you listened to the one where I talked about it, but so I go to Ascend, bro, and the guy's like, "What brings you here today?" Which which is the most gut-wrenching question you could ask at a weed stop because there's only one fucking answer.
To
And
get
he's wearing a
weed.
badge. Yeah, and he's wearing a badge and a gun, and I'm like, ah, damn. Cause I ain't never been to a dispensary. Like I was like, fuck it, I'm just tell the truth. I don't know how this is gonna go. So you ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you ain't gonna double charge me and say I lied to you too. So I'm just gonna be like, fuck it. I'm like, yeah, I'm like,
They're gonna tax you for lying, sir.
bruh, this man got the warlock dreads and the motherfucking badge and the goddamn you know what I'm saying, bro, look official, and he's like,
Mhm.
you'll look up at the camera for me, and like dude looked at his tablet, said my name, my city I came from, and then was like, where what brings you here today? And I was like, oh shit, uh yeah, he like said my city, my state,
Uh-huh.
and my name, bro. And I
Damn.
was like, yeah. And I'm looking at a badge and a gun, and I'm like, I've got to be the dumbest motherfucker to ever fucking smoke weed to put myself in this situation. Because I just really didn't believe that he worked for the dispensary. Like, it didn't click with me, bro. I was just like, this is weird. Then I went in there, and then somebody from my freaking elementary school that remembered me ended up being my cashier.
Uh-huh.
And
Damn
it
small
was all
world.
kind of, yeah, small world. It was kind of like a fast-paced thing because like as soon as I got there, it was like tablet here,
Uh-huh.
and then like
I
my
don't like
my
that
adrenaline just
service.
took over. Like, yeah, that was my first experience though, and then like and you know what though, I'm not complaining because that's the only experience you know from out the state anyways is to scroll on your phone, so it felt comfortable honestly, but that's when I was like put it on the highest THC, you know what I'm saying? So I started shopping that way, you know, which was to check off my bucket. You know what I'm saying? You got certain itches you want to do, like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain strains you want, certain cultivars you want to smoke, certain things you want to do. And like my thing was to at least go shop for the highest strain, top shelf, and get everything you can get out of it. That's
Uh,
another reason too why I paid so much. Like everything I got was the top shelf flower, or so they call it, you know what I'm saying? The Black Afghan, the Jenny Kush, all that shit was top tier flower.
mhm.
Uh 60 something dollar fucking ace.
You think it's worth the eighth?
No. No, not to say the grower didn't do his thing, right? It's
Uh-huh.
just that I think even the grower would say you could. It's one of those things where you could probably find it in New York and or in this city on this alley the same day for $10 a gram. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's already out there, bro, and it's you know it's what you call loud. You know what I'm saying? It's that fucking gas,
Yeah.
and what you're paying for is security. On a bougie note, if this is the way I choose to look at it, I'm paying for security. Like I know this shit's gonna get me high. This is not a, I bought $25 14 gram in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. It was some shake, some blueberry muffins from
Mm.
Highwire. It was
Okay.
good. It got me pretty buzzed. It put me to sleep. It was a great $25 spend. It wasn't pretty looking weed and it was shake.
It
Shout
was
out to
shake, yeah.
Highwire too, because it was probably like 35% of that was actually like baby nuggets. So, you know, my point is that that got me just as lit as some of the shit I paid. Well, that's the beautiful thing in Michigan. You ain't really paying that bad. I think I
You
paid
don't.
two. I paid like one something for a
You could
half.
you can pay a top-notch ounce for like 150, under 200.
I know this. The Barbie Runts was like 210 or 220 for a zip. I don't know what the half was, but I got the
Mhm.
half. So I'm assuming the half was probably like 145 or something like that. Um, and I definitely my wallet was getting pimped because I literally asked for that to happen without even thinking about it. I was just like, if you had to choose which one to smoke, what would you do? And she was like, oh, the Barbie Runs. And she like literally had to stand on her tippy toes and pull this fucking top shelf weed down. And it had like it had the fucking like it was Instagram weed, dead ass. It was some Instagram weed. So I was like, fuck yeah.
The grand weed. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, I feel like, but at the same time, I think that's the beauty of cannabis, though, because like, just as different range prices, you're gonna get a different experience, but like, it's just different, you
Well,
know,
let me ask you. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
like what the fuck was I going with this? Like, I feel like you can get like a cheap gram, like an eighth or whatever, and you'll still get like an amazing ass experience than what you could be getting at this. Like, for what I'm trying to say is like, save your money and go to Michigan, because like you'll get more of what you're getting, and you're saving money, bro.
Okay.
Like cause like, look at this. This is how I see it, bro. And this is because I am a pothead, bro. I smoke every day. I am that smoker that could smoke a joint in the morning, afternoon, night, bro. Any day of the time, like, I'll be down. But
I'm
like
listening.
how I'm seeing it is like, if I go to a dispensary here in Illinois and I spend literally an $80 for a fucking eighth, I'm gonna
All I
finish that
smoke is
shit.
blunts, bro. I swear. All I smoke is blunts.
Damn.
Like I stay smoking. I was just saying when you said you smoke a lot,
Yeah.
like we.
So I see it like this, man. I'm spending $80 for one day of me getting high. I just can't. It's just can't. So that's why it's like I go with my wax, because again, a gram could last me like a week and a half. Um, but again, it's like I'm paying a bill for a gram, when just in the back of my mind is like, dude, you went to Michigan, you got like 10 to 15 grams for like $100. You know,
Okay.
like that's
So
how I see it now.
no, no, I feel you. I feel you. And I understand that point of view. It's a real point of view. It's real world thinking. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. I I understand. I think like that too, is what I'm saying. But what I was gonna ask you, and it kind of ties together, right? Is what stops you from if you're spending $20 a day on weed, right? Let's just say 20 a day on weed. Is that fair? Is it a fair amount, or am I being crazy?
Like, what do you mean? Like, if you want to
If you
explain a little
if you
more, sorry,
like
because I'm
smoking
high.
every single day, like smoking every
Uh-huh.
single day, right?
Gotcha.
A
Uh-huh.
dub, right? Like that's a dub, right? That's a
Yeah.
good. Okay, so $20 a day. What stops me, or I should say, what stops you if Illinois had the Michigan prices? What stops you from spending $20 a day at the dispensary versus the $20 a day on the street? It should be the actual quantity, right? Not even the quality at this point. We're talking basic quantity, right?
Hmm.
Is that what stops is that what stops most people, I would say? I don't know.
What?
I'm asking. I
Like,
really don't know.
No, 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 yeah. I'm just trying to get your question right before I answer it.
Okay,
But it's
so
so so
what
so
stops you? So whether you spend $20 on the street weed or the dispensary weed, what is the difference between the $20?
you're getting
That's what I'm
taxed on it.
asking.
You're getting taxed. You're spending just like how you were looking at your receipt, bro. Look at all those taxes.
I
The
wasn't I
weed
wasn't
man, the weed man down the street, all I gotta do is just give him whatever he's charging me, and that's it. But the only difference between that street weed and this is this what I'm really smoking, what he's telling me, and is this lace or not? That is my two biggest concerns nowadays.
Yes, you said the one. Okay, so the laced one. The laced one's a big one for me, okay? That one's a real big one for me. That's something that I haven't had to worry about. Like I don't know anybody that personally has died from like fentanyl being in their weed.
Gotcha.
But one of my plugs did just go to jail for fentanyl. And it's like, holy shit, bro. So it's closer than I think. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, here's where I say, like, kind of business or like getting an LLC, because I want to talk about LLCs if you want to.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
dispensaries and that kind of do the same thing. Or even I should say, I could take it back to the Instagram ads. There's a big difference between spending $50 a day on an ad and spending $7,000 a week on ads. There's a huge it's the payout itself is bigger. So this is my analogy on when I go dispensary shopping, right? Especially because there's none around me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do this one time, probably one or two times in the year. So I'm gonna save up for it. That's one. I'm not blowing one check on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saving up 6, 7, 8 months, sometimes a year plus. Well, the first time was like we had been saving for that. My point is that when I left, I mean, you have when you spend a certain when you surpass like the $300 mark, you're only adding to the supply anyways. For one, you can only smoke so much. For two, you have you just bought $500 for a $50 lung. Does that make more sense? Like you're only accustomed to smoking $50. Your lungs are only accustomed to smoking $50 worth of weed a
Mm-hmm.
week. So when you go and spend $500 now, you know, you're good for a minute.
Oh yeah.
And no matter what, if something happens to where I get metal contaminants or I get pneumonia or some weird ass shit and it comes to find out it's from this batch of weed, I could take your ass to court. I know for sure I shouldn't be smoking it and dying right away. There's no court, there's no nothing. There's just you die the moment you get the wrong weed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, and so there's that safety net with it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
think that all the perks that come with a dispensary are 100% bougie perks. It should be the same reason why you spend $7,000 on the laptop. It should be the insurance policy that you paid for, not necessarily the laptop. It should be the one of a kind software. It's whatever it is. It's more than a laptop that means something to the that person bought. You know what I'm saying? That niche is what
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
So to me, the perks for a dispensary are always going to be bougie. They're not necessarily life and death, except for when you start talking about the fentanyl, which again I can't quote a single case where like in my state in Kentucky that like someone has been to the hospital because they were in there because they smoked a blunt from weed that was laced that
That
specifically the fentanyl. I have not heard of that case.
that's crazy. I don't know if it was here or not, but actually my mom told me a story that her friend knew a guy that he used to smoke cannabis, and I guess because he used to get it off the plugs and stuff like that, so I guess one time he ended up smoking it. That I guess after that time, that one time he smoked, like he became like disabled, like I guess like on like half of his body wasn't
Hmm.
reacting or anything like movement. So that right away, I'm just like that we in general just doesn't make you do that,
Hmm.
like just knowing the fact of one of how much you consume, like I started consuming around the age of high school, bro. So I grew up, with friends where we used to smoke, after school in the alley. We all used to, go to different corner stores to see which man is gonna give us the blunt without even IDing us, like. that was me, bro. That like I used to, be in just the street weed, because that was the only access that I had,
Right.
There
Yeah.
was no such thing as dispensaries other than Colorado and California.
Do
So
you,
yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, do you has there like I don't know how many like homies you have that sell weed, but like, do you have a good idea of how much dispensaries have affected the variety or availability of the weed in the street?
I feel like with the people that I know that have sold, is that their clientele just prefers to go to dispensaries now, or they just stop smoking, or we just grew up per se, like I guess within now it's like with plugs is like I feel like it's kind of hard, but not hard to find your customers. It's more like here in Illinois, and it's what's being a lot seen is we're getting charged around the same price as a dispensary is for now. Like like if you go to an event and there's vendors out there and they have their own setup, like they'll charge you for an eighth for almost close as if you're paying for a dispensary price. So before you still had your plugs because they had the best prices compared to the dispensaries. This is when I'm talking about when we became legal, which was 2020 or 2021 around that time. And I guess as time just as us, humans, approach cannabis, we time move forward. It's more like I guess everyone's getting more aware of what's being consumed, of
I
what
think you
you're
said it. I think you said it perfect when you said y'all grew up. That's what you get to do. That's awesome. That's what you get to do because it's legal. That's what legalization does. It allows people to grow up, make their own choices.
yeah. So I mean, to them, I guess it's bad, but not bad. It gives them another opportunity to do something. I guess that's how I see it. Cause like at the end of the day, it's like you don't want your homie ended up being on the news that he got killed or some shit, or he got arrested. You feel me? Especially like over some cannabis shit.
It's a good season for real hustlers. If you really think that you was booming, and trapping, and you can make business decisions, I'm talking like that. You know what I'm saying? If you think you was
Hmm.
booming in that way, like you was delegating some shit, then delegate these new franchises that are opening up because these mom and pop stops, they need hustlers. You know what I'm saying? They need people that have the gift of gab to do some of the talking for them. Because I've ran into more often than not people with the assets to make a lot of shit happen and be completely clueless about the very operation they're making decisions on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dang, that's a weird little circumstance that cannabis seems to bring with it is the people that oftentimes but you know what I'm saying? From the examples I've seen, like most people turn to the community and try to get the community involved.
Hmm.
I can't say that I haven't seen it done any other way, but Kentucky is so strict. I really don't know what to expect. It's a no smoke bill, the medical bill. So the idea of recreational here is still far away. So the idea of a plug is still pretty real here. I will say that recreational cannabis as a whole has to have shifted the streets, or I shouldn't say, has shifted the cannabis in the streets from east to the west coast. It had to have, because we're right here in Central America. And one thing I will say in a state that it's not legal is that everybody. You know how everybody used to have dro back in the day. Now everybody has dispensary weed. Now everybody has dispensary. They have whatever it is that you trying to find. They have it. And
Hmm.
so now the water is real murky. That's a terrible thing because not everybody has Bubba Kush number 0006. You get what I'm saying? It just doesn't work that way. So you might
Yeah.
have you should have Bubba Kush 06 and he should have 0006. You get what I'm saying? How do y'all both have the same thing, but y'all don't go to the same dispensary? Y'all don't even go to the same state. He swears to God every one of his packs is from California, and he swears to God every one of his packs is from Michigan. I
Yeah.
believe him because that makes more sense. Why would you jeopardize a flight from Cali and then you want to implement, like, even the street guys is trying to implement taxes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
Yep.
like you basically trying to tax because you came all the way from Cali. That was your choice to go all the way to Cali. He got some. I asked for top shelf weed, and that top shelf weed in Michigan is 25 fucking dollars. Just like it was in California. It's probably $14 in California because it was probably grown in California and flew into fucking Michigan. So it's probably $14 in California, and you're paying, making me pay all this extra shit because you have the fucking plane ticket and you decided to risk your freedom differently, more so than the next guy. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that kind of shit going on where it's just like common, like you say, like y'all got to grow up and we're getting to use common sense now. Because before we just had to deal with whatever the fuck Boba was bringing in,
Yeah.
because that's what the fuck was Bubba was bringing in. And then when Bubba got locked up, you had to hope that you didn't piss off whoever the plug was friends with because you sell it on. It was just dumbass, you know what I'm saying? This small town bullshit.
Yeah. And it'd be like that, bro. I mean, like I feel like especially if you've I've consumed cannabis for quite a while, your palate is have you have tasted different shit. And if you came across something on the dispensary that you know you smoked it before, and it's the same different strain, the two different strain smells, tastes, you get to question yourself, did I even smoke that in the beginning? Like that really comes to my mind again, and it happened to it happened to me really like
See,
a few days ago, bro, where I went to an event, underground event. I knew half of the people there I knew already. Um, and I went up to a booth, and they were selling 25 and eighth. They had a nice displays and all. And he made me it was cool. He let me smell it, open it, like let me like just me seeing the bud, And although he told me it was something, and then because I asked for the host if he had anything, and he said, yeah, if you went to that booth, which I did, and then I showed him what I had, and he's like, what he say he has, he gave you, and then he pretty much told me what the bag said, which was pink bazooka bubblegum gelato. and
goddamn.
at and it sounded fire as hell, and it is fire, and it has great color to it and all. But the host told me that he said, "Nah, it might be pink lemonade or something, because they're the ones who gave him that bud and stuff." So I'm not mad or anything, but it's just an example of like in my face, like how plugs are still are. Like they just pretty much could get bud and just put it on a bag and just
They
say
do that in the
it's
streets
that.
too, though. They do that
Yeah,
in the streets too. I done had a plug right hand to God, bro. Same story. I'm not even gonna tell you. I mean, literally same shit. It's just his girlfriend gave him the idea for the name, and
mhm.
he just yelled it to the back seat to me like I just didn't see these two talking in the front seat. Which if he hears this is all love. He knows I tease him about him all the time. And it's like he said it was honeycomb kush. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like she just barfed that out of her mouth, bro. Like I just. But people know that I like that kind of shit. That's where I was going with it. See, with the whole knowing that whole, you know how some questions, when you stumble upon them, they drive you to do more than just ask questions. You just start doing science experiments and shit like that, trying to figure shit out. And
Mhm.
with me, with the whole, don't tell me it's OG Kush. How do I know it's OG Kush? That goes all the way to like I gotta grow that shit. And that's why I want recreational so bad. It's like I really want to experience that whole like seed to harvest to blunt,
Well,
like seed to
hi,
lighter.
hi, hypothetically, that's what I'm doing because right here in Illinois, it's funny because at first when it became legal, they gave us the right, medical and rec, to grow in-house up to 5 plants, and then out of nowhere they took that away from recreational users.
When did they do
So
that?
they did that literally, I think, like within last year.
Wow, I
They
didn't
they
know that.
literally, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy that some people don't really know is that you people who are recreational smokers, they can't grow their own stuff in their own crib. So that sucks ass.
Are they
Um
like, let me ask you this hypothetically, if you were doing it, is it one of those things where like it keeps you up when you're not around that, like you're not around the operation, you get like,
Not yet. See,
okay,
hypothetically, good words from a old friend, named
allegedly.
Justin. Yeah, for Justin from Boston Buds, hypothetically. Um, but yeah, so. hypothetically there's three. It's my first time, and dude, it's just a whole different vibe. You just I understand now from when people say like you get a relationship with with the plant itself. Like you just see and view cannabis differently now. So like honestly, bro, like yeah, dispensaries it's a secure and a safe way to consume cannabis for sure. But like if you really do think about it though, sometimes these companies do still have mold in their buds. They
Hmm.
still sometimes don't follow protocols. They have a a time limit to when these buds have to grow at certain times. Why? Because high in demand, supply and the demand. They got to keep on coming because if they stop growing, they're out of business. Then they're gonna have the consumers have to go to the other weed man, which is company X, Y, and Z. And at the end of the day, it's a business. Everyone wants their piece of the pie or whatever you want to call this shit. But there's a lot of like some shit it be too much and you never know, man. Sometimes these clones or whatever they don't probably be putting some type of shit that can make them grow faster, to get to their deadline.
With the podcast
Hmm.
being a digital form of marketing and a digital form of entertainment, do you have an LLC?
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
So that's really important because hypothetically, if you had a LLC and you were hypothetically growing in the same place that you were hypothetically conducting your business, the LLC will virtually protect you from having to merge everything together. So then no matter what, you obviously would have to like pay some sort of hypothetical bill or go to some hypothetical court date
Hmm.
for the plants, but the state won't take away Canna vibes. Without an LLC, if you get sued, no matter what reason, it don't even got to be that you're committing a crime. You can get sued, and if you're found to be at fault or whatever, and you got to pay that suit, and you're non-cooperative, or you get what I'm saying, it's just things are not in your favor. The
Hmm.
state can send you a cease and desist letter, letting you know your bit. What they'll let you know when your business date will come to an end, when your EIN number and all that other stuff. Do you have an EIN number?
I guess it's in the works, my guy.
Okay. Well, okay, so the reason why I say that, all right,
Uh-huh.
my bad. I didn't mean to like double on that. I
No,
have an
you good.
EIN number, I don't have an LLC. I have an EIN number under my self proprietorship.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't have an EIN number, that's that's great because then you don't have the heartbreaking story I'm gonna have once I do this LLC, which I will be doing within like probably before Thanksgiving. Um, where I'm stuck is between whether I want to do a LLC or if I want to just jump into a S corp or even just form a straight corporation. It's only because I'm talking to a couple of people that are doing podcasting as well as somebody else that's doing car detailing. And we're thinking of different ways of protecting the entities. You get what I'm saying? Where I'm going
Hmm.
with that. So that's why I wanted to like bounce that kind of stuff around with you too and see where what your really peep what your experience is with that process. I mean, here in Kentucky, it's like 40 something dollars to get an LLC.
Yeah, $46.
40 something, yeah, something
So
46,
that's
47.
so that you want to know how much it is here in Illinois?
How much
150.
for the LLC?
Yep.
Are you think or if you're how I don't really because you say it's in the works. Are you doing it like are you filing this yourself? Are you going through Taylor Brands or something like that?
No, this is just like me researching right now.
Okay, okay. So ChatGPT is a friend, my G, for real. Although it will lie, it will straight lie and it'll throw in some made up shit right in the
Yeah.
middle of the. Oh man, it has terribly fucked me over. Bad trust issues with ChatGPT. But
Oh my God.
so
AI
so
is
here's
is
my
something else, man.
my thing is this, right? So with the
Yeah.
LLC, I can copyright, trademark, and then I also have to do what's called because podcasting is different, that would be a service mark. because you're providing a service. This is what Kentucky. Now, I've talked to the Department of Revenue for Kentucky now, man, probably like literally probably 15 times in my life. I probably had a good 7 or 8 hours with the Department of Revenue on the phone, bro. Just because that's what I
Mhm.
mean by like to even if I would have had to pay $10 for a day of talking to him, I would have did it. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that goes, and I say that goes back to like the Twitter ads and the Instagram ads of like trying to learn for myself.
Mhm.
I do my own taxes for this. I do the self proprietorship with the EIN number.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm able to claim, I believe, up to, don't quote me on this, I want to say it's up to like 50 square feet of, or not 50 square feet, what the fuck is it? It's $5 a square foot. And I claim like 164 square feet of this apartment for the business. Um, and I have a way and a means of showing that through digital footprints for each thing. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to doing my taxes and I file, everything that I pay towards the internet is because I'm a self proprietor, it's all for me. You get what I'm saying? Once I do an LLC, it will be distinguished. And I, I'm just saying that an LLC is a form of protection, but there's just so many different things you can do with it depending on what you're wanting to do with it. With us having podcasts, we automatically got to get a service mark because that's like your Canna vibes is in the background of all your podcasts. You get what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, and so where I'm stuck is like where I want to go with it. What kind of LLC I want to do, or if I, like I said, if I want to do a corporation, because I plan on doing like real events and like basically leasing out like tent areas and stuff like that.
Yeah. The sky's the limit, man. And I feel like right now, within the industry here, and it's just like I don't want to like move away from the business LLCs or anything, but it's just like we just it's just this is a spark, man. Like I feel like sometimes I feel like I might be a little backtracked or like not not as up there with the rest of the cannabis industry, but it's like it's just like this is still brand new to everyone, and whether your state has been legal for the past 5 years or just last year or even a month within legalization, like everywhere I feel like you can go anywhere and just I feel like it's just a blow up, a matter of time, of people just if they're following and just I guess doing the right type of content for this industry, because like as though we're in a small niche and we're in that little corner that not everybody likes to be at, but like I feel like we still make it as a welcoming and as a safe safe spot for people like us, for stoners, for people who use it for medical use or recreational use, or just within just trying to find themselves, man. Because like life is crazy, bro. Today could be a chill ass day. We could be podcasting, and tomorrow, you know, it could be even a better 10 times better day, or it could be even be the shittiest day. And the thing is that we don't control that, bro. It's just we just wake up and we just see how it goes, man.
No, I feel that. Definitely. One day at a time type shit.
Yeah, and I feel you, man. Like hypothetically, these plans, like it's an experiment for me, but like it's becoming more of a passion, and
Feel
then
that.
it's you get to learn, and it's just a whole vibe, and I think it just depends on the person that you are, man. I mean, whether one's gonna like it, the process is long, but is it worth it? I haven't smoked my own shit, but I'm fucking just by the looks of it, bro. I most definitely know it's gonna be worth it because I know
Feel that.
what the plant contained, what did I put in it, how it looked as a baby to a human, mature plant to crewing it, brewing it, stuff like that, and like I said, to the blunt. But I'm in my joint phase, man. So
Hell yeah.
something about joints for me right now, bro.
Oh shit. I do the blunts, I do the bongs, I do the syrups, I do the coffees.
I did see that. How is that infused coffee?
That shit is good. Everybody that's had some is liked it. I mean, you don't know what to expect outside of what you are hoping for. You know what I'm saying? It's just cold brew coffee. But with it coming out of a can, I guess. I always have a lower expectation for shit in a can. You know, it's like drinking beer out of a can is not my thing. But
Gotcha.
but I will. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say I won't. But if
Uh-huh.
I'm buying it, it's gonna be in a bottle. That's all I'm saying. And so yeah, I mixed it in with some creamer and shit, and just it was good. It was just like, yeah, like I said, acceptable. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. So I
nah.
know you also smoked some Boston Butts and THCA. So how is it for you, man? Like
Did you get a chance to
I
smoke any of it?
yeah. Yeah, I
Which
actually
ones
did
did
a
you
review.
smoke?
I did I got lemon fuck, the strain, the bud, I got some gummies and then I got some wax.
Okay.
Forgot what the fuck was the wax
I see, you
called.
know, I seen that collab too with you and Boston's Bud. So what I did, right? Because I know you
Uh-huh.
all right, so I go to your oldest podcast and hit play and I just do that. And I get to listen to maybe one and a half episodes every day during work. That's when I get my time to listen to podcasts. So like I'm still like I think like episode 10 or 11.
Oh
Like
shit,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you deep in
Yeah, man.
archives,
My
man.
bad, man. My bad, bro. Yeah, cuz I'm like
You good.
that's why I'm bringing shit up like and you're like, yeah, everybody that's been listening knows. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, I do like day one, like I'm listening so that by the time I get a day, like when I go do the next road trip,
Uh-huh.
I'll be listening to my like that's when I pop on like Joe Rogan or like you or whoever that I especially now I'm on, you know what I'm saying? We did this today. Anybody
Yeah.
I've been on a show on like well, I know most of them. So like that's another thing too. We're always talking podcasts. But I enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? I used to do like rap, so like to me this is kind of just like it's even more of people doing this than when I was going to the studio back when I was 16. When I was 16, I was like the only motherfucker in my grade going to that studio at that
Mhm.
time. Everybody else had a different time. They either went to the studio or they just didn't go to the studio. They were just really good at freestyling. But my point is I keep all that into one collection, you know what I'm saying, on Spotify. And then I add that all to the stuff that I listen to anyways. Like Joe Rogan, listen to his very first episode, bro. There's some shit in there I bet nobody knew this man says.
For
Dead
real?
ass. Yeah,
I
dead
gotta hop
ass.
on. Damn, I gotta hop on the
Dead
first
ass.
episode.
With a hard R. Dead ass. I was like,
Wow.
damn. But I like his stuff. You know what I'm saying? I listen to his joke. I've listened to
He
that for a long time.
he low key inspired Canna vibe, bro.
I can yeah with your intro for sure. Yeah, like
I
that's like ultimate homage.
it just literally, bro. And the thing is I would is it again, this is during COVID and I would just be smacking on my pen or dabbing and I would just put a clip on Joe Rogan and just him talking with his guests of just like weird shit, alien shit, high shit, space shit, like real event shit.
You
So,
said something on your episode one time
uh,
that like you gotta coin that shit. You said, I need a Jamie. That's when I knew you listened. That's when I knew you was a Joe Rogan. That's when I knew I was like,
yeah,
yo, you ain't lying. That's what we gotta call him. We need a Jamie, bro.
we
Like
do.
everybody needs a fucking Jamie. When I heard you say that, I was like, yo, props.
No, dude, nah, but yeah, that's true, bro. Because honestly, bro, it's all me, bro. Like right now, it's all me. Like if I needed to pull up something to show you, I would do it. I'll even share you the screen, and I'll be like, yeah, like we'll look at it together, bro. Because like if it's not you, nobody's gonna do it, bro. And as sad as that sounds, or is because like you see, it's all depending on the person you are, bro. But like I'm a person that where like if you were to help me, I'm always gonna bring you up with me, bro. Like I ain't gonna forget about you, especially those who have supported me and like have shown me like the the potential
I
that
get
I
what you're saying.
have, like if I continue this, because like. If you stop one day, you're not gonna know what the fuck happened, and then
I
you know,
got one. I got one guy. If you go to my Instagram, shout out to Eli. Because nothing I'm saying is a slur. It's just life happens. You get what I'm saying? If you go to my
mm,
videos on Instagram, he's taken off a Tupac Poetic Justice hoodie to put on one of my hoodies, which was just like all moment for me, right? Watching somebody take Tupac. That's not what he was doing. He wasn't taking Tupac off, but it just showed me how time passes. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this man's wearing Machiavelli, and he's the first guy to purchase on my website.
mhm.
He's the first guy. And he's taking it. You know what I'm saying? He was wearing a Poetic Justice hoodie. I was having a geek moment trying to hype myself up in my head. It's my first sale. Um, he no longer works with us. He's probably had 5 or 6 new numbers since, but we're still friends on Instagram.
Mhm.
And every now and then the message will get seen. There's like 2 messages to him now that just now got seen, and they're just late. It doesn't matter no more. I still will message him and be like, I got a photo shoot I'm doing in 6 weeks. No one has to pay. Just show up. He'll get that message. You get what I'm saying? Because he was the first guy to order something on my website, stewartspassion.com. I don't care 50 years from now if he's not doing music anymore. I'm still gonna call him and be like, "Hey, Stewart's Passion has a venue. Do you just want to come and vibe?" You know what I'm saying? If I can, always with
Yeah.
everybody that's been a part of what I'm doing. Same thing. Like that's how I like what you just said.
So yeah, bro. So yeah, so as much as like you want to bring people and they can't or whatever, you just gotta do it, bro. So I do everything, man. When it gets through with the vlogs on my YouTube channel to podcasting here to the editing to even just ideas, bro. Cause like my I feel like I just have spinning ideas and it's just like I gotta put them together, bro. You
I
know?
feel you. I feel you. How do you auto cruise? Do you know? Do you auto cruise or is like this? Do you know what I mean by that?
No, what do you mean by auto
Like, how do
cruise?
you? What are some like? Okay, promoting is a full-time job, recording is a full-time job, editing is a full-time job. There has to be a way for me, I'm talking about me now, right?
Mhm.
To where that doesn't become overwhelming. And so I have to be able to turn an auto cruise on to where that kind of work gets done without it taking so much mental energy away from me. Does that make sense? So how do you deal with the mental energy that that takes away?
See, so I got a dog, I got 2 kids, so and I got a job. How do I manage to get vlogs in, podcasting in, bro? Um, it's hard sometimes, but I honestly have an agenda with me, bro. And I have that agenda with me everywhere I go. By that I mean like I could be having it with me at work, I could having it with me at the crib, outside the crib. But it's more like I get to do my to-do list, but it's more like I schedule myself. So after this pod or whatever, tomorrow I might schedule myself at least an hour, 30 minutes to an hour out of my day to get as much content edit as possible. But the only thing I love about myself now and just by me hearing the episode is that I don't have to edit that much anymore because it comes out naturally. Um, and it's just I don't see any um how do I say it? Like I don't have to edit it as much, like yeah, I'm not trying. I'm trying to get that word out of my mouth, but I can't. Like you're trying to say something, but you just can't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah.
word.
It's
Yeah.
just
So
it's leaving
it's
you.
yeah, but so it's like I don't have to, like it just everything comes natural to me, and I feel like it sounds right. It sounds authentic. So I don't need to do all those changes. All I do listen to is clearly, and sometimes I have to backtrack again, is because I don't listen clearly, and it's like me finding my clips.
I had to do something at the beginning, I guess, before I ever like turned the microphone on to
Hmm.
ensure that I was gonna do this forever. It was kind of like one of those self-talks, you know what I'm saying? And so I guess maybe, I don't know, just like talking to you now, I guess maybe that's where I got the idea. Because I remember being in this room and coming up with the idea that I would release at least twice a month because that's just where my game plan started was how do you release? Like how do you do a podcast? You know what I'm saying? Basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think listening to my wife constantly bring up what comes on what days on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? We're really big YouTube watchers. That's
Gotcha.
what we, and so she'd be like, "Oh, it's Tuesday. This is supposed to," and so that kind of just went in hand with like that's how people think. You know what I'm saying? People think like, "Oh, today this is what's coming on, or this is what's coming on."
Mm-hmm.
Well, I knew that I'm not so tedious to where I could lock in every Monday at 10. Like that ain't happening with me. Like life is too life be
Unexpected.
life and yeah, life be
Yeah.
life. And so like,
Yeah.
but what I can do is know that okay, let me just start recording and see what happens. That's kind of how it happened. And then, I
Mm.
had like 4 episodes done. It's like, all right, that was pretty cool. How am I going to release? And then from there, I realized, well, if I release one today and then one tomorrow and then one the next day, I ain't got to do nothing for 3 days. That's how I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What it's turned, and I didn't do that. What I ended up doing is I release twice a month between the 1st and the 10th and the 16th and the 20th. And then what I feel either goes together or sometimes it doesn't go. It just depends. Like, like some people be like, I'll be ready today, and then they won't be ready for another 4 months. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I stay away from trying to do like themed ones yet. I want to get to the point where I have themes or like this pod drop, it'll be 4 episodes specifically about dinosaurs. I'm just spitballing. And then the
Yeah.
next one will be specifically about dogs. You know what I'm saying? So it'll
Mm-hmm.
all go together. But right now, you catch what you can, you do what you can, and then of course, you do your I do solos. And so that's when I got the idea of how can I auto cruise to where this doesn't take a lot out of me. And so, because like I said, I did music before, so I knew I was going to have a promotional page, a Facebook page, an Instagram page. And I
Yeah.
know how much that shit gets annoying after a while, especially if you like, it's odd. Actually, the more interactions you get, the more annoying it becomes because then you start turning notifications off, you miss important notifications, and then it turns in that. So, like,
Yeah.
that, I was like, how am I going to deal with that? And that's when I was like, you know what? I just ended up with like 10 or 12 episodes already done in a
Mm-hmm.
month. And I was like, I'll let two go in like 2 weeks. And then the next one, I'll
Mm-hmm.
just let two go. And now I know what's coming and I got time to make my clips. So that's how I do it. You know what I'm saying? I call it like MO. Like I just stock up on like as many episodes as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then I slowly release them. There have been at one point in like March. Like I used to go around and tell people I could die today and there'd be episodes coming out to the 22nd of July. Like it ain't gonna stop. And that's kind of where I wanted. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? That's how I auto cruise. I kind of just create as much as I can create
Mm-hmm.
and then see what fits together, what doesn't fit together, and then release them all in segments. And then that allows me to focus in on which content I'm going to make content material out of. Riverside also has like this dope ass AI feature. You literally click magic clips and it generates like 7 little mini clip, like 30-second to 1.5 minute videos for you. You
Mm-hmm.
press play and see which ones you like, and then you download them and then you upload them. Is that, you know what I'm saying? So it can't get no like spoon fed to you than that. So it's like I'm just giving credit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work, but there
Yeah,
has
it
been so
is.
many tools that's come out that kind of help it. So that's why it's like, dang, AI is such a bitch because like you trust that shit and then you're like, oh, this motherfucker lying. This thing came up with lyrics from Meek Mills. We were trying to find his
Oh,
lyrics
hell
that
no.
Meek Mill said, and this thing came up with a whole song, whole Jay. I was like, when did Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and Meek Mill do a song together? And
I
then
don't
I
know.
found the
Uh-huh.
song, and I'm like, that ain't that the way them lyrics go at all. It had given me information so twisted that I was just like, what else have you lied on? I knew it had lied on other shit, like, but you got to be really careful with the information you put into it. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? But yeah, so that's I try to like make it as stress free as possible. Like,
uh-huh.
I didn't stress this episode today. I look forward to this episode, but it was all like I like now I got to the point where shit is on the calendar. So I actually got shit on my phone popping up like, hey, Canna Vibe, 6:30, woo woo woo, da da da. I
Yeah.
had to like I said, I had to teach myself all this shit. Like it's funny because I was born in Germany, so I moved around a lot, and like I never really gave a fuck about Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Coast Time, or none of that shit until this podcast, bro. No
Uh-huh.
lie, no lie. Now I'm like, shit, hold on, like, where you live? I just go and I go to Chat GTP. How many hours ahead is that for me? I don't even give a damn if it's Pacific
I just
Coast.
Google it, bro.
I just exactly Google it. Same shit. It's just
Yeah.
like, some people be like, you're an hour behind me instantly, and I'm like, they already knew what I was doing. Okay, all right, cool. That's an hour behind, bet. And but that's the fun
So,
stuff.
so with me, man, I decided even from the start, it, I was like, how long apart should each episode be, from each other, and as you can see, I used to do big gaps, like probably 2 episodes a month, an episode a month, the next month, and then I'd be dry for like a good few months, and then I'd pop back again. And to me, I did not like that because like I felt like that wasn't consistent. And for me, it's like I want to be consistent because like I want to see growth. You feel me? So without being consistency, you're gonna see mixed results, and I just didn't fuck with that. So I decided to do Fridays because why the fuck not? It's starting the weekend. Just me as a smoker, just knowing like, Friday night, why not? I'm gonna be token, So that's how I seen it, and as well, I love music. So every like I feel like Fridays just new music drops every Friday. So I was like, fuck it, why not? I'm not a musician, I don't write music, but I do podcasting. So I'm gonna drop my new pod every episode on a Friday. So I've kept that, and as much as I can. Sometimes I've dropped episodes not on a Friday, but that's because sometimes I was probably late that it didn't get to that deadline, or it's something that I think it's necessary to drop right away, you know?
Mm.
Um, and then when I started doing vlogging, and that was just vlogging, I didn't thought I would like to do, recording and doing content in general. Uh, but I saw it as another way to market myself and market, Canna Vibe. So I started to doing that, and I don't to my vlogs, I just drop it any day of the week. Of course before Friday because Friday is literally podcast. So yeah, that's how I have it now. And I try to just, ask people as much as I can on, like I said, I have my agenda, so it's like I make a to-do list each day. So I wanna, ask X amount of people in a day to see, what if they're down to be in the pod, what's their availability. And by that time I know how my schedule is, like so so yeah, man. So I always like to be ahead, a step ahead. I like to just have a smooth transaction. Because like I don't like to reschedule. Although I've done that before, plenty of times, and I don't like it because sometimes it just loses the people's interest, or sometimes um it's just like you said, life happens, man. So you know.
Are there any like guests on like your wish list, like a wish list guest that you have a goal for?
Yeah, dude, I got. Of course, it's famous people, man. But like it'd be crazy, bro. It's not as much as people like are in the cannabis industry. It's more like just why not? Just come and vibe with me if you want to, if you can, if you have the time. And it's just like musicians, like most definitely one my top two would be Joe Rogan and Kanye West.
I feel that. I
Those
feel
would
that.
be the top two that I would love for them to come on the pod. When it happened, I don't know, bro. The only way I'm gonna
That
know
would
is if I
be,
continue doing it.
yeah,
Continue
right.
doing this,
Yeah,
bro.
I feel it. If I get like Elon Musk and Dave Chappelle on, that would be dope.
Lex, that dude, that guy, what's his name? Last name Lex. He does a podcast too. He fucking wears a tux or a suit. Lex Freeman, is it Lex Freeman? Hold on.
I don't know why I want to say Lex Luthor. I don't know who the hell Lex Luthor is,
Oh,
but Lex,
there you go. Friedman. There you go. Yeah, Lex Friedman. You know what I'm talking about? Oh,
uh-uh.
look, it's just a perfect moment, like I mentioned earlier, bro. Perfect moment about me, the Jamie side.
Okay.
Where is it at? Right here. Uh, so as you can see now on my screen,
Oh
this
shit.
guy, he has a podcast.
Okay.
And he's brought like Elon Musk. He brought Donald Trump too.
Okay.
Uh yeah, he brought Joe Rogan in there before too, and like he just talks about a lot of shit, but he's more like scientific stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just on some like deep conspiracy shit, like, because
I like
why
that
not?
shit though.
Like, why not, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, why not? So yeah, man. So like, as you can see, bro, like I be like all over the place, but like I love just to talk to somebody, and if we smoked together, we did. If I only smoked, because there's been episodes where I've only smoked, bro, and the people couldn't, or they didn't have anything. I've had podcasts where I'm actually sober, because that was during tea break I had this past March, which is pretty was pretty. It was decent. I mean, like,
Yeah.
but like,
You had some
yeah, it was
crazy dreams?
it was vivid. They were vivid dreams though.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was very odd. But it's just like I wish I had a blunt, or like I wish I had the joint, the smoke on right now. You feel me? Like it's like that. Like
Huh.
it's not like I'm like, fiending, or like, fucking scratching my skin to smoke, but it's more like it would be nice, like, but
I feel that. No, I understand it. I understand it. There's all these different urges that come with it as far as or what would you call them, like annoyances and just irritabilities and shit. And
yeah.
I guess I like I separate things so differently in my mind that like I focus on things one at a time, so I don't really tie the weed part to it. I just deal with that situation, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So like I not smoking the weed is the easy part for me. It's the going to sleep that's hard, and I don't connect the going to sleep to. I know it's all connected, but you get what I'm saying. I don't have the. My mind isn't set on like if I just smoked a blunt, I could go to sleep. It'd be like if I could just like chill the fuck out and stop being stressed.
Hmm.
I just go take a sleeping pill. You know what I'm saying? It's just like fuck it.
The melatonin.
Yeah, yeah. It's
uh
like that kind of shit. Cause
like
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 the
how
dreams be vivid as fuck, and that be shit that wake me the fuck up.
you just feel a little different, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but that's all I can say. But here's a saying, because I heard Seth Rogen talking on the pod too, because of his consumption, and he smokes a lot too. He smokes, I think, every day. Like, he's just a stoner like us, but like he was saying, like, he does it because like he feels like it helps him on his on like helps his journey in life, like, you feel me, like. And some people may say it's like just an excuse, but like, I kind of see it as a reasonable thing, you feel me, because again, life is crazy, man. We don't know what tomorrow is gonna be like. We know what today is because we were living it in the present, and we knew how shit was in the past because again, we've been through it, we lived it, so it's like, I don't know. Sometimes people say it's like their cup of wine of the day, or their beer of the day. But I don't know. I feel like it's just more, it's a little more than that, man. Like, and I feel like if you're just an open-minded person, like, I feel like you would know what I'm talking about, or you would have a feeling of what I'm trying to say. Because, I feel like it's not just me, you know,
Okay.
because like when he said it, I felt some type of way where like, damn, like he kind of, I think he understands me, like, I ain't the only one. So it's
Yeah.
like, and going back to like what you said earlier, is like, no one, or there's never been a case or whatever where one has, died over cannabis. You feel me? So it's like, so it's like, I don't know. And then the thing is, we also have cannabinoids in our bodies too. So it's like, like the receptors and all that other shit. So it's like,
No, yeah,
but
it is. I kind of want to go to school for it. And like short story off Instagram. I actually won a free ride to Oaksterdam. It's to Oaksterdam University.
mhm.
and I wouldn't have enrolled, I wouldn't have signed up for the giveaway had I known, but I guess it was only a specific course that you could, it wasn't a at your own pace course, is what I'm saying. And I was working Burger King double shift type lifestyle at that time. So it was like that wasn't happening. And it was like it really sucked because I know there was a lot of people that really wanted that opportunity. But I still think about it like, damn, I kind of want to get it because, like I said, Kentucky's just at that point where it's not legal yet. And so okay, it'd be more beneficial for me to have those type of things before it goes wreck. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how much that stuff will matter, but I know to some people it will matter, and hopefully those people are people that can guide me to the next step of whatever it's going to take for me to get to where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny how you mentioned the educational part right now of cannabis because I actually have a certificate under my belt for
Oh shit.
cannabis technician for cannabis dispensary technician. Um,
Okay.
so here's the thing, I I graduated with that and with my associates last year, and even prior before that, just by the age of 21, I just wanted to work at a dispensary. So I was it's I've been ever since that, like I've been trying to get into it, getting my foot into the industry, deep in it, see where I can end up being. But I'll tell you a story. I ended up applying for a dispensary, and I don't know if this ever has ever happened to you, uh, but have you ever walked into a dispensary and you go to the bud tender and you feel like the bud tender has no idea what they're talking about? Like you feel like you know more than the bud tender. Like, have you ever felt that?
No, but I've only been in like 4 or 5 dispensaries.
Ah, okay, so that's the thing, bro. So I've gone to this dispensary. I'm not gonna call names or anything, but like I've gone to this dispensary and like I just feel like these people, it's like these bud tenders sometimes don't know what they're saying. And I'm not trying to go off on them or anything, but it's like I got the interview and all, and I told them like I got a certificate on this X, Y, and Z. And to them, it's like they didn't care. Like it was like whatever. And I even asked them I asked them like, so does one getting a certificate even matter to get their foot in the industry? And they literally said no to me.
I definitely feel like it's some like friends of the business rubbing elbows type shit. Like
Hmm.
now, I think that also varies by how the state sets it up, right? Because, like, or maybe not even the state, maybe just that jurisdiction of like cannabis dispensaries, not you get what I'm saying, just that company. Because,
Yeah.
like, when I went to the Bloomington place, I was in line with the girl said her boyfriend had just got the job at the dispensary. So, you know what I'm saying? I, they're hiring locals, you know what I'm saying, which I guess is the overall reaching point of it, but. I wouldn't want to be a bud tender if I went to college though either. Like I
Hmm.
would definitely want to be like in I would go for business and advertising and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't even I would like to grow weed, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind like without a diploma. Like I don't mind growing weed or watering the plants or whatever it is for the 9 to 5 lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, like if I'm gonna go study for it, I would like to make it count.
Yeah, or even like even try to get like even your a raise within the pay, you feel me? Because like
Yeah,
how
definitely.
I see it is like if you got a degree under something, you expect to get a job, but to get a good paying job, you feel me? Like to do something. See, with this one, it didn't matter whether you got a
Yeah.
degree or not. You're still gonna get paid the same as everyone else. But I feel like it's not fair because you have that knowledge. Like you know shit. Like you for
See, that's
real.
just one of those things. I think you got to go where you're wanted. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of those things. Like you'll never sell a red car to people that hate red. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go to the town that loves red, and you'll sell the car for like billions of dollars. It's like one of those situations because like when you put the work in, but then again, you know what I'm saying? It all depends what you want to get out of it, right? Like I mean, you got to the dude. I'm fucking high right now.
You straight, man. I'm about to get the
You got the
munchies.
certificate. You got the
Yeah.
certificate. I was gonna say diploma, and I was like, that's not what he said. You said certificate. So okay, you
Yeah.
got the certificate. So I mean, do you fulfilled out of it? Did you feel like you got your fulfillment out of it, or do you feel like you still need to like meet the right people, right? Obviously, if they, I
It's the
mean, if they're,
right.
yeah.
I feel like it's the right people, uh, because like I came out of it. I came in knowing some things, and I came out knowing things I didn't know before and more.
That's
So
what I was gonna
it's
say. So like either way, you benefited. I mean,
I did because like when I go and talk to people that are it's whether it's underground or in the market, like I know they I guess they know that I know what I'm talking about because I don't know if you ever seen it, but I feel like here is like you got to know what you're saying.
hmm. See, Kentucky's just not even business focused, man. From what I'm hearing, like there's a chance that like 5 out of 10 dispensaries are gonna be owned by out of state MSOs.
I
So
mean, here is all MSOs and they're out of state.
yeah, so
You
I mean
barely get here in
that
Illinois. You
to me
barely
that just takes away the whole educational pursuit. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it's like I don't know. I feel like maybe you got to carve your own lane with that thing being there because obviously like entrepreneurs are going to take that more serious than corporations, it seems. You know what I'm saying? Because the corporate ball of money is just so big that like that's just all about rubbing elbows and knowing and relationships. I mean, networking is networking at the end of the day, but
Mhm.
when you invested into the certificate, so you know what I'm saying? So you gotta I would swim more towards like entrepreneurs.
So so yeah, so and then going back to the educational part is that I went back to my to the college. I got the certificate and all, and I saw my one of my teachers, and I'm like, "Is the program still running?" And she said no to me, like they took that down, and I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "We're not sure." They seem to be it's because there wasn't a lot of interest, but there was though. So it's like. I guess the city didn't see any purpose to it or whatever. Um, but overall, like each each professor like taught us, business, like business stuff. One taught us business, like management of a dispensary and all like that, like to set up your business plan, what would be in the business plan. Another professor taught us of the Illinois laws that was happening at the moment. Another professor taught us the medical sides to it, and then another professor taught us about digital like Photoshop and stuff like that for like cannabis related shit like that too. So it's like I felt like they taught us decent amount, like of uh different points, of like I would say behind the scenes of the industry. Like some major key points, minor key points, but like felt like there was a purpose in each class.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Certificates is the thing that I seen on Oxford University. They offer quite a bit of at your own pace certificates. That was the route I was going because some of them were only like $250 and some of them were like 800. It all depended how like how involved you wanted to get. Because I think the business one it was like 3 certificates, like but each certificate just basically was a deeper dive into the same subject. You were just spending a little bit more time into it. And I mean, there's meaning in that. You know, you want to
Mhm.
know what you're getting into. Me myself, like I said, with Stewart's Passion, I just see my end goal is to have a cannabis museum, you know. So like I really want to know as much as I can about everything that I can about cannabis. So that and then and then with networking, it's more like I really just want to become known as that person that really links people together. You know what I'm saying? Like like once you meet me the magic happens. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically what I want to. If I could create, you know what I'm saying, carve my own
Mhm.
reputation, it's like, man, fucking with me is gonna get you to that level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out. That's why I say like that's why I play with so much of the algorithm as I can, or even just with the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because that seems to be what really matters to people is numbers and turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Can you turn over a profit for me, or can't you turn over a profit for me? So I have to figure out which pockets fit my narrative, if that makes sense. What I'm capable of doing and what that is going to realistically bring in, or what I need to sharpen in order to like, you know what I'm saying? Before, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean, man. But yeah, my guy. I don't know before we wrap it up. Do you have anything else you gotta say?
Sure, we all know somebody, a friend, a family member, or a colleague that uses homegrown cannabis, and we know they don't need to be locked up for that shit. I believe if we all come together, we can change the narrative.
Yeah,
That's
hell
what I
yeah,
do
my
this
guy.
for real. Follow me on Instagram at Stewart's Passion, at Twitter at Stewart Passion, and Twitter Stewart's Passion. So those are the two accounts there. And stewartspassion.com, man. That's where you can find the blogs and the podcast.
For sure, my guy. I do appreciate you coming on the pod. Um, I know most definitely this ain't the first time Canna will see you. And the audience of Canna wants it. This won't be the only time they won't see you neither. Uh, I know we got another pod coming. So I can't wait for that one. And as well, man.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
ever need somebody here in the Midwest or whatever, you already know you got somebody here. So
Hey, that's what I fuck with you. Like we two people in the Midwest, bro. Like uh definitely give it that point of view, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows the stories from I don't want to say it like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like California is obviously like to some people that's the weed capital. To New York, to some people New York has its own rights to being the capital of certain things in the cannabis, but like we're giving a perspective from the Midwest, man. So I appreciate your show, man. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you. And you're definitely invited to a couple episodes and more with Stuart's Passion on Let's Mess. Let's talk about it.
yeah, my guy. And as always, ladies and gents, we'll see you guys to the next episode or vlog. We'll see you guys. Take it easy, stay high, stay safe
Fuck
out
with you,
there.
boy.